Hello everyone, so this is the last technique that I will be teaching you on integration, and that is rationalizing substitution. So some non-rational functions can be changed into rational functions by means of appropriate substitution. So in this case, in this technique, we are going to change a non-rational function into a rational function. Okay? And that is by means of appropriate substitution. So we will be dealing with another type of substitution here. Now, in particular, when an integrand contains an expression of the form nth root of g of x, whatever that g of x is, then the substitution u equal to the nth root of g of x is just the same as u raised to n equal to g of x. So, ang ginawa lang dito is we raised everything by n. So, from that, this will be eliminated. So, what's left is yung nasa loob na lang ng radical sign. So, we have g of x and you have u raised to n. Okay? And from that, if we're going to differentiate this one, so we will have using power rule, that is n times u raised to n minus 1 du, and that is equal to the derivative of g of x, and that is g prime of x. Okay? So ang gagawin natin dito, whenever you can see a radical expression, we will let that one as one variable and we will use u. Okay? Sige, para mas maintindihan, let's consider this example. Find the integral of the quantity x raised to 5 minus x times the square root of the quantity 9 minus x squared with respect to x. Okay? So as you can see, we have a radical expression here. Siya yung candidate natin for the variable u. But before that, I would like to factor out x here because x is common to both terms. So this is just equal to the integral of x times x raised to 4 minus 1 na lang. Then we have the square root of 9 minus x squared, okay, dx. So we will now start our u substitution here. So in this case, we let u be equal to the square root of 9 minus x squared. Okay? So from that, if we will let everything raised to 2, so that we will eliminate the radical sign, so this will now be equal to u squared equal to 9 minus x squared na lang. Right? And from that, if we will differentiate both sides, that is just 2u du equal to negative 2x dx. So as you can see, 2 is common if we will divide everything by 2. So that is just u du equal to negative x dx. Now observe, in our expression, we have x dx. Okay? And this is negative x dx, so we will just multiply or divide everything or both sides of the equation by negative. So that is just negative u du equal to x dx. Okay? So now, we have a value for x dx. We also have a value for the square root of 9 minus x squared. Ang kulang na lang natin ay ito. But take note that x raised to 4 is just x squared raised to 2, right? And you can find x squared here. So from that, solving for x squared from this expression here, x squared is just equal to 9 minus u squared. So pwede nating i-substitute yan dito sa ating x raised to 4. So from that, this will now be equal to So for x dx, that is negative u du. For x raised to 4, again, that is x squared raised to 2. And that is just 9 minus u squared raised to 2, because 9 minus u squared is x squared, and we have x squared raised to 2, so that will be raised to 2. Okay, minus 1 times the square root of 9 minus x squared, we let that one as u, so that will be u, times our x dx is negative u du. Okay, so we will now simplify. So this will just be equal to, the expansion of this is just 81 minus 18 u squared plus u raised to 4 and minus 1. U times negative u is just negative u squared du. Okay? Then, distributing, this is just the integral of, take note that 81 minus 1 is just 80. So we have 80, negative 80 u squared plus 18 u raised to 4. And also we have negative u raised to 6 du. Okay? And from that, madali na lang yang i-integrate using the basic integration rules. So from that, this is just negative 80 times the integral of u squared is u cubed over 3 plus 18 times the integral of u raised to 4, that is u raised to 5 over 5, and the integral of u raised to 6 is u raised to 7 over 7 plus c. And after that, let's substitute back u, which is equal to the square root of 9 minus x squared. So that is now equal to negative 80 over 3 times the square root of 9 minus x squared cube plus 18 over 5, and that is square root of 9 minus x squared raised to 5. And lastly, we have 1 over 7, the square root of 9 minus x squared raised to 7 plus c. And that is our final answer. Okay? So I hope clear yan. Okay. Now for the second one, let's try this. So this will be our last example for this topic. So we have the integral of e raised to 2x all over the cube root of the quantity 1 plus e raised to x dx. Okay? So same lang yung gagawin natin. We will let u the radical expression, which is this one. So here we let u be equal to the cube root of 1 plus e raised to x. And from that, if we will raise all sides of the equation by 3, okay, the radical expression will be eliminated, right? So what's left now is u cubed equal to 1 plus e raised to x. Okay? Now take note, in this expression here, e raised to 2x is just equal to e raised to x times e raised to x. So therefore, since here we have e raised to x, so pwede nating isolve yung e raised to x with respect to u. So that is just e raised to x equal to u cubed minus 1. So yung isang e raised to x, wala na tayong problema doon. Yung isa na lang yung hahanapin natin. Now in this case, if we will differentiate both sides, so that will be 3u squared du equal to e raised to x dx na lang. And since we have e raised to x dx, may isa pa tayong e raised to x dito, and we also have dx, so wala na tayong problem. So from that, this will now be equal to the integral of, again, e raised to x, or e raised to 2x is just e raised to x times e raised to x over, kokopyahin lang muna natin para mas makita ninyo. Okay? So from that, this is now, again, the first e raised to x is u cubed minus 1. And e raised to x dx is just 3u squared du. All over, the cube root of this one is just u. Now, simplifying, okay, u will be eliminated. So, isa na lang yung matitira. So, that will be, yung 3 pwede nating ilabas. So, that is, ang u i-distribute ninyo. So, that is u raised to 4 minus u du. And from that, this is now 3 times u raised to 5 over 5, the integral of u raised to 4 minus u squared over 2 plus c. And from that, you distribute and substitute back u, which is equal to the cube root of 1 plus e raised to x. So this will now be equal to 3 over 5 times the quantity cube root of 1 plus e raised to x, okay, raised to 5 minus 3 halves times the quantity cube root of 1 plus e raised to x, okay, raised to 2 plus c. And that completes our solution. I hope that is clear. Okay? So that ends our discussion for this topic. Thank you.